The ferrymen here maneuver their rafts skillfully, taking advantage of the currents. They can even cross where there are rapids by steering diagonally. But where did travellers long ago cross the Yellow River? Today, one of China's major hydroelectric dams has been constructed here. Liu Jiaxia Valley Dam took 15 years to build from 1958. Travellers on the Silk Road used to cross the Yellow River at a point far above this dam. After the dam had been built, most of the Silk Road near the river disappeared under the waters of the new artificial lake. We took a 3-hour boat ride to the old crossing place, Binglingsu. You can only visit this spot by boat for a short time in the autumn, when the water level is at its highest. It was the first time a television crew had ever been here. Binglingsu was a Buddhist temple built in the 4th and 5th century AD during the Northern Wei Dynasty. It flourished for about 1,000 years. A giant Buddha built during the Tang Dynasty several hundred years later. It's almost 27 meters or 90 feet high. Around the giant Buddha on the cliff face, dozens of caves have been carved out, more than 180 of them altogether. Years of erosion have worn away the features of the rock-carved Buddha, but he still seems to smile benignly. He sits cross-legged, like most people of Asia still do. Buddhism, originating in India, went through various transformations during its journey along the Silk Road, according to the lifestyles of the different peoples. When the autumn's over and the waters begin to recede, this place becomes a group of isolated hilly islands. For 1,000 kilometers or 600 miles westward from the Yellow River, the Silk Road passed along a narrow defile between the Qilian Mountains and the Gobi Desert. This defile is called the He Corridor, and during its long history, it's been controlled by many different peoples. Perhaps the most powerful of all these peoples were the Huns, the nomads on horses whom the Chinese called Xiongnu. They controlled this corridor at the start of the Han Dynasty in the 2nd century BC. Today, all you can see in the Great Gobi Desert are rocks and bare earth. But in those days, it was the scene of many fierce battles between the Chinese and the Huns, battles for control of the Silk Road and of the precious goods that passed along it. China's famous Great Wall was originally built as a defense against the Huns, and as the power of the Huns grew, so the wall was extended westwards. Even on a military campaign, the Huns for food depended on the great herds of goats which they always took with them. This was why the Great Wall only had to be high enough to prevent goats and horses from jumping over. The Chinese finally managed to get control of the whole of the He Corridor during the reign of the Han Emperor Wu Di. In the year 121 BC, Emperor Wu Di sent an army 100,000 strong against the Huns. In one battle, the Chinese took 150,000 Han prisoners. Now, the Silk Road was securely in the hands of the Chinese. They defended it like a military installation, and along the corridor they established 4 strongholds. One of the reasons the Emperor Wu Di had so much trouble with the Huns was because they had much better horses, the so-called heavenly Western horses. And one of the reasons Wu Di wanted to extend his power westwards was to get his hands on a supply of these horses.